went straight with Carol Baskins.
I'm a little late on that.
Well, we're back with this. Thank God. It's been a little bit, my man.
We are back today with a random video because why not? We're just going to have a little fun and do a tier list, kind of similar to how we started out the channel actually with the tier list. Except this one picked a random subject. Today we're just going to be ranking Will Ferrell movies because I don't know, he's like internationally beloved and just a comedic icon. But Will Ferrell's probably the one that I've consistently seen more of the films that he's in, and I enjoy them more. So we'll see how this goes.
As you can see, we have our last tier being white dog crap. So that's where we will throw the ones that obviously are complete F.
Yeah. First one up being Anchorman 2. I thought this was kind of one of those rare times where they kept success of a first and even though it was like really, really late after the first one had come out, I think it helped still. Not as good as the first one, but I felt like the content was still there.
Yeah, I think it was really good too. I was surprised. I thought it could have easily fell right off and been pretty horrible because they always do that with sequels where something just comes out and just because the first one was so successful and they just try to make it come out. And I think every single person, when they came back, they still brought the same A game that they brought in the first one. They tried to bring some jokes back, but overall, yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think it was just as good. If it was for me, I would put Anchorman 2 probably in B. Probably B, yeah. So next up there is Old School. I have kind of a personal bias in this because this is one of the first Will Ferrell movies I think I've seen. I think, if I can remember right, but I was young too, so it's kind of like it's got like everything in it when you're young. I feel like when you're going through puberty watching this movie, it's pretty fantastic because it's everything you just think is super awesome. Like, I watched this movie when I was a kid and pretty much felt everything Blue felt when Boobies came out, and he just falls over dead. And I love it. I've seen it so many times. For me personally, Old School goes to A. But what do you think of it?
I think it's a really good movie that you don't think about too often, and I wouldn't even say honestly that it's a Will Ferrell movie. He's actually a side character in this movie, but it's just he's one of those people that it doesn't matter what movie he's in or what character, he always tends to be one of the more memorable characters. And that's not saying anything bad against the people in the movie, Vince Vaughn and
Luke Wilson.
I was like, which one of the Wilsons is that?
Which one of these?
Yeah, no, it's a interesting premise for sure. I did like it a lot actually. I think A is a solid play.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Zoolander, and I have not seen it so long.
It's been a while for me too.
Yeah, and again, this is kind of one of those movies where it's not really a Will Ferrell, but he plays such a interesting and off-the-wall character in it that he kind of just stands out in it a little bit. I know I've watched the blooper reels of that movie more than the actual sure.
Yeah.
And it's just so great. I don't have a strong opinion on this. I think it's probably a pretty beloved movie no matter who you talk. Where would you put this one for you?
So for me, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it. Zoolander never stuck to me like other ones did. Will Ferrell was always good. His character was definitely different than what he usually plays, being like the fashion mogul. And I don't know, it just never really stuck with me too much. For me, there was obviously I think most of my humor, same with you. Most of it came from the gag reel, I think, for me. For that, I mean, it's not bad. It's just it never personally hit me. I think for me, I'd put it in C. So
I'll leave it there for now. We can always do a final check and stuff around if we think we're unfair.
Yeah, the next one is The Other Guys. I fucking love this movie. It's so good. I think there's just every moment of the entire movie for me was just hilarious. I think him and Mark Wahlberg just had hilarious chemistry together. But it teeters for me. I don't know for me, it could be an S, but it could be an A. For me, I just loved it so much. I think every moment was hilarious. Probably one of his funniest being kind of like the dorky desk guy of the police force, working with Mark Wahlberg's aggressive behavior right off the bat. It's just, I don't know, all that was hilarious to me.
It's another really good movie, and I kind of, I guess, have the same thing about this one as you did about Zoolander. Like, I have seen the movie, and that a lot of people really like it. The thing that brings it down for me is I don't like Mark Wahlberg all that much. Anytime he's in a movie, I just automatically he's probably gonna come beat me up if I had to guess. But and it's nothing against him personally. I don't know what it is. I just don't. It's just one of those things where, like, I think it's the personality of the characters that he plays is what gets me all the time. He's just always some asshole. Like in real life, I'm thinking he's a very nice and humble person. I've heard him in a lot of interviews and stuff. He sounds very nice, but like in all the movies that he's in, he's constantly like a wisecracking asshole with like the same. He doesn't even try to hide his accent. That's what pisses me off so much.
It's like
the Boston accent is one of the most unattractive accents there is, and he just doesn't like try to hide it at all. Yeah, I can't explain it. It's just one of those feelings I get.
Blades of Glory. Yeah.
This so far is just gonna have people like if they
what?
care that much, they're gonna be like, "What are you guys doing?" I don't care, man. This is the silliest goddamn movie we've talked about so far, and it's
Blades
so
of Glory
good.
is great, man.
And he actually has a couple movies like that if you think about it. Blades of Glory, Semi-Pro, Talladega Nights, Kicking and Screaming. Like, he just locks himself into like these like sports movies that are like where normally you would take a sport like that pretty seriously with the high stakes things that they're. I mean, Kicking and Screaming is a little league, but it's like high stakes like competition. Like,
yeah, they like to like kind of just bring the light humor of it.
Shout outs to Jenna Fisher in that movie as the love interest.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
she's a very pretty and like underrated actress. I feel like everybody thinks of her as Pam from The Office, but no, she's very. I think she could have been used in a lot more movies because she's very likable. I have no idea about this one. Okay. I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna go completely off your recommendation. Whatever you say.
Some comedic stuff because it's Will Ferrell, but I don't know. You have to be. Sometimes it's weird because sometimes these movies for me they don't work, where it's like Adam Sandler will do like a really really dramatic role in a movie, and unlike Uncut Gems, most of them I wasn't a fan of, and some people roast me here, but it's like Punch Drunk Love, like that movie wasn't for me. For me, Will Ferrell doing kind of like Stranger Than Fiction, not a bad movie, just I'd put it in D. Dang, I hope people don't like that movie and I get roasted. Dang.
It's always interesting when a person who's like typecast or like a similar character in most of their movies or has like a certain style is like completely off the wall, completely different. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's gotta throw it out there, see what sticks. Yep. This is probably the most, other than maybe Anchorman or Talladega Nights, I'd say this is his most liked and most popular movie.
I guarantee it's his number one.
Most quoted. Like, maybe Anchorman is that. I think Talladega Nights is also up there pretty well. I think the movies that get quoted the most from Will Ferrell are Anchorman and Step Brothers.
I think if you haven't seen Step Brothers, you're living under a fucking rock. It's so good. I think it's a good redemption movie. Like, yeah, take all the goofy humor stuff in there. It has a pretty good tie on their characters at the end.
The Will Ferrell movies that work the best are the ones where he plays a character that is childlike in nature. So,
yeah,
like an adult who acts like a kid is usually what you get the best Will Ferrell out of.
Yeah. So I think S is absolutely where I'd put it. The House.
I think it was a perfectly okay movie. I think it was. I remember laughing at it quite a bit. Amy Poehler is always really funny. What's the guy? Jason. Starts with an M. He's like Greek or something.
Or whatever.
Yeah. He's always really funny in it. Yeah. In like any movie here show he's in. I don't know why. It's just his voice is super funny.
And Nick Kroll too. In that. Yeah. So good in there. I think it's So my point with that one is it was funny. I liked it. I think it's like comparing to so many others, it's hard for me to place it. I have an urge to go pick it up and watch it again? Out of all these, I'd probably pick something else up above it. Like, I'd still put Anchorman 2 above it. For me, it's at a C. Where would you put it?
I think for where we rank some of these other ones, probably C is okay for right now. The thing I remember most about this movie is like he does that classic, like when a character, I don't know, I can't think of any specific examples, but like he starts out that movie, he's obviously they're like suburban parents, like they just don't have enough money to get their daughter through college, so they start an illegal casino in their house, and then they're trying to make money for the daughter. So he goes from being super straight laced to like, you can see on the cover there, he's like a pit boss. Like, just like, he's just acting like a dirty casino owner. Like, where like he'll start out acting like himself the whole like first half of the movie. And then like he starts like going down this path of like, where they change to a different character.
Yeah. Starts having like he gets like a huge confidence boost like halfway through.
Yes.
Not even just gradually, it's just like it completely flips. So our next one here is Elf. Okay, man. Yeah, okay.
Actually, it should be like up here.
Just a personal favorite, man. Good time Christmas movie.
Yeah, definitely. I watch it every year.
Yeah.
For Christmas. I don't really have much. I mean, not really much else to say about it. It's just great.
It's legend.
Anchorman. I think we gotta put that up here.
Yeah.
Insanely quotable, very extremely popular character that he plays. Super popular Halloween costume.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it.
Not much to say.
If you know, you know.
Again, same thing as kind of like the Step Brothers and Elf thing. Really, I think has probably the most quotes too. People would know from that movie.
Yeah.
And now, again, we can't say much else on that one, but. Next up is Lego Movie. I don't know if it's S, but it's definitely A. Lego Movie's good. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
Like it's animated, but it's like with Lego.
Yeah.
Looking at it, like it's just different, and I thought the jokes in that movie were just so great because there was good writing to them sometimes, but then other times it's like. Just like they did because it's Legos, weird like little stop motion looking moments, and like just the real world props that they would like have alongside the Lego things for like
Craggle
scale and stuff like that. Yeah, the Craggle. I think like the Band-Aid and like the nail polish remover, like ancient artifacts of like great power or whatever.
I think it's just I didn't expect to love that movie as much as I loved it. Semi-Pro though, fucking hilarious, man. ELE. It taught me the valuable lesson of ELE. Everybody love everybody.
Dude, all I can remember from that movie is like there's two lines that really stick out to me. He just screams at that fucking Russian dude. I was like, God damn it, Bacchitis.
Okay.
And he's just yelling at him all the time because he's big dumb. He's like the center or whatever. He's like just big dumb Russian dude. He's like, move your ass, Bacchitis. The other great thing is they do that freaking half court shot. That dude wins he's drug dead and then like a whim. That part's really funny. I love that movie.
I do too. It's just so good. There's so many great things in there, all coming from him just trying to pull in crowds, and it just completely backfires on him. Even the running jokes, like even the guy that does the half court shot, it's a continuous running joke throughout the movie. Like he shows up again, he's like, "Yeah, Jackie, I tried to cash this check." He's like, "Would you take it to a big bank? It's a big check, you know. They gotta go to a big bank." It's like
he's like, "Oh, just keep trying." They practice like choreographed halftime dances instead of basketball.
Yeah, so such a great one. I think that one flies under the radar for most people. Actually, I don't know. I think there's a lot of people that actually haven't seen it, but if you haven't, please check it out. It's so good.
Let's see. Okay, another good one.
That's definitely here. Yeah, Talladega Nights. I don't know how much we can say about that one too. Again, another quotable one.
I think it's on Comedy Central at least once a day.
Yeah, yeah. It gets played so much, so many reruns, more than the rest, I think. And overall, I think honestly, if I was like looking at this like entire list of movies and I was trying to look at one analytically to be my favorite, it'd probably be Talladega Nights. I think the entire story, and I think the message, and I think the character development is better in this movie than it is the rest of them.
Yeah, I think I would agree there. I don't have really too much to say about it. Again, another super quotable movie.
Ooh, now this is an unpopular opinion for me, but I do not like Night at the Roxbury.
I just know that it's based on an SNL sketch,
Yes.
and usually most of the movies that are based on SNL characters pretty bad. Yeah. I think maybe once I saw parts of it on TV, and I just was not impressed.
For me, that is the white dog crap. I am not a fan of Night at the Roxbury. I just every time it's on, I will.
I think of this list,
it.
This is probably the one or two one of the two that belongs in.
Yeah, there's absolutely gonna be two.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you guys like Night at the Roxbury. I'm sorry. That's it. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Audience.
Yeah, it's like just baby don't hurt me and head bobbing, and that's it. Okay, so I don't know what I haven't seen this one. I don't know what you're.
It's not white dog crap, but it's so close. I would put it D.
Right?
Yeah, I think there's some funny moments. I get a genuine laugh when his dad or Will Ferrell's dad shows up, and kisses him on, kisses him when he comes down the escalator or whatever. After you get the Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg like tough guy dad and son thing, I think that whole dynamic is funny, but it does wear thin pretty quick. Like once you get it, you're like, oh, that's hilarious, haha, and they keep doing it. You're like, oh, okay, okay, all right, I get it. I'm done.
I think they did a good job of matching up the actors to be their dads. Like, is it John Lithgow that's Will Ferrell's dad, or is it a different actor?
John Lithgow, yeah.
Is it? And then Mel Gibson. I think Mel Gibson. I think it was probably good for him to be in a comedy.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like if you want like Mark Wahlberg to have a scary dad, Mel Gibson is probably the one you want to put in there.
Mel Gibson is intimidating, I would say that.
His face, like you look at that, if you look at Mel Gibson and don't get intimidated by just looking at him, no, you're lying.
He's played a ton of intense characters for sure.
Get Hard. I like Get Hard, but not.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's about as middle of the road as they get. I think I might even put it at C.
Well, okay,
we can play around with it. It's not a memorable enough character. And Kevin Hart is a funny person, but you can only take so much of him doing his high-pitched little man stunts.
It was funny for a bit, and then it just started getting old. But then he showed up in The Upside, obviously, and he did fantastic in that one. If you haven't seen that, watch that too. But yeah, same thing in this one. I think, honestly, my biggest takeaway from Get Hard was when they went to the ghetto down there, like towards the gangs and stuff, and they're inside there. And I think Will Ferrell gets the name Mayonnaise. So that was, I think all of that was fucking hilarious. That was probably the funniest like takeaway for that. Either that or him training Talking Tough inside that makeshift cage they make in his house, and he's trying to come up with insults to say in the yard. Megamind, not Mastermind.
I haven't seen it in a long time either. But as far as animated movies go, I feel like this is a decent one.
Yeah, I think it fits right nicely in there at B. Yeah,
like that Superman sort of origin story where like he and Metro Man were sent to Earth in pods, and he from the time they were in the pods, Metro Man shit.
Yeah.
And it just turns out to be like he tries to be villain, but he is incredibly smart, but he's so like clumsy and like charismatic and eccentric that he's likable enough anyway, and then he ends up being a story. I think it's a good character development. I just remember I constantly say "olo" to people because he didn't know how to like say some Earth words. Instead of "hello," he would be like "olo."
Kicking and screaming.
Kicking and screaming. Yeah.
Probably put it in B. And I always forget Mike Ditka's in there too. Is like the neighbor that ends up being like his assistant coach. But I think it's pretty good. I think it's a solid movie. I think it's got a lot of heart and stuff like it too. It's got a good family story to it. I think Josh Hutcherson plays the kid too.
Super young.
That was one of his young roles when he was like really getting in there, like Bridge to Terabithia years.
Oh, he goes and recruits the two Italian twins from that deli and I was like, this is super stereotypical.
I know. He's like
pass it to the Italians.
They have to like put time in at the deli. They don't have, if they are busy, they can't come play. And it's like easily their best players. Yeah, that one's good. I always forget.
It's like a good middle silly.
Yeah. Daddy's Home 1, step above Daddy's Home 2.
Maybe see. Yeah,
Definitely
I think
better
this
than
is one of the
second.
movies where I find Mark actually like sort of okay, like because the character that he's supposed to be playing in this movie is supposed to be an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Okay. Well,
Uh,
we've immediately entered the next white dog crap movie.
I figured this would. I didn't even watch it, but I figured this would probably be on there because I heard it was awful.
Dude, I watched it because I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna try it. Dog shit, man. Nothing worked. Every single joke that went in there just. It's like they knew they were riding off the high of the last one they worked together with Step Brothers, and they knew they had that high of like, oh, people love us, let's do it. And the writers like, yeah, let's just make kind of like a Step Brothers, but let's give it a Sherlock Holmes vibe, and it just nothing, dude. It got annoying.
It looked to me like it wasn't. It wasn't very like smart or like clever writing. It was just like silly, stupid jokes.
They didn't have a plan for the movie. It felt like it just kind of was like, so it's like a eighth grader wrote the story, and then
It's okay there. We'll leave it there.
we'll leave it. But the next one, this one is an absolute personal favorite. Oh my god, Land of the Lost is such a good one, man. Yeah, A is pretty good. Land of the Lost is like, I guarantee it's a hidden gem. Most people have not seen Land of the Lost. It came out of nowhere for me, and then instantly fell in love with Chaka.
Yeah.
And Danny McBride. I think Danny McBride and Will Ferrell were hilarious together.
Danny McBride, I think, is a show stealer in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
especially him and his chemistry with Chaka is like is so good.
Yeah, he treats him like a bro. It's what's so great.
Yeah.
I always love about Danny McBride is that like he has like the confidence and the charisma of a god, and he's like acts like he's a big like hot shot, like his dick is so big. And in reality, almost every character he plays comes like they it's seeming like they dig him out of this metaphorical garbage, and he still has like this confidence and like charisma. Like here, he's like, where is he? He's at like some what's the shop that he's like at?
Oh, he just owns like a souvenir shop in the desert where
Middle of nowhere, and he's like,
yeah,
just
where
this
they end up
fucking-
going.
His character is always trying to be the alpha male with whoever he's with, and
Yes.
that's fucking hilarious.
It was a perfectly like silly and fun, enjoyable like remake of a show.
Yeah.
They really just went like just balls to the wall with it in terms of like all the crazy stuff that happens. I put it at A. It's not a god tier movie by any means. But yeah, it's like a personal favorite for me too.
Oh man, the next one.
I think this is up here, man. I think this is like another one that people forget about.
I think it's good. Don't get me wrong, but comparing it with so many others, I think I had to put it at B. But so if we meet halfway, it has
I
to be
can live it. I can live with
A.
it.
Yeah,
This is one of those movies where Zach Galifianakis, a very different character than what he normally plays. He's just like a super like square house husband basically, but he's not like as crazy as as he is in like the Hangover movie. Even Due Date, like where he's like a super like effeminate like quirky actor. Yeah, I love his character in this. They're not like crazy heavy on the political satire. Like they're not specifically making fun of one side or the other. They're not making fun of a politician or anything really. They're just like doing these caricatures of like and making fun of both sides equally. And I kind of like that they're not an agenda or anything.
that's why it works. Yeah, because you could easily have ruined it by trying to push an agenda, and because that's what writers do quite a bit. Depending on whatever political side you're on, they do that with quite a bit of movies. And a movie strictly about politics, that's a big worry for this one. But yeah, they pretty much just play two politicians, just trying to. It's pretty much just a rivalry between the two.
It's in a very exaggerated. Everything is very. They're going into that whole ad campaigns that they're doing.
Yeah.
Like they just get progressively more insane, and like somehow they're working. Like Will Ferrell's character, sex tape of him having sex with Zach Galifianakis's character's wife. Like he makes a sex tape and then releases it as a ad campaign, and he goes up. Like in the pool.
Shoots up.
That's so insane.
But yeah, it's really good. I think it's really, really good. I think even Jason Sudeikis is in this too, and I think the entire cast does a good job.
So let's see. Is there anything we want to change on
Some
here?
cleanups, huh?
I think Zoolander should go up
Go to B.
1.
Okay, we can put Zoolander up there. I think I was maybe a little too hard on Stranger Than Fiction, man. Maybe that should go to C. Like, it may not have been for me, but overall the movie wasn't poopy. Looks like Daddy's Home 2 is the only D, man. That sucks to be you down there, dude. Solid area.
I think Anchorman 2 could go up 1 up.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think there's a ton of funny parts in there. They bring back a lot of good characters back to the movie. They have new characters that are just hilarious as well. They have like just as many ridiculous, like him losing his sight and going to live in a lighthouse for a year, and like raising that shark and learning how to like paint and see and drive again and all that kind of stuff. Like that was all great.
I did like seeing the status of his like home as soon as like all the guys come over to his lighthouse home and seeing it's like completely fucked because he's blind.
Yeah, dude, he made him like a snack, but it was just like checkers
And
like,
cock. Like Brick's he's getting ready to eat it. He's like, Brick, don't eat that.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's good going up. Yeah, I'm solid with that. Overall, I think this is pretty fantastic list. I think it's good. I think the S's are absolutely. Those all need to be S's. Yeah, I like this. I'm glad we did this list. I glad we found one to figure out to do.
Yeah, very casual. If you guys enjoyed, obviously it was picked out of a hat almost, basically. But it's super laid back, casual recording again. So, who's not a fan of Will Ferrell? If you aren't, leave it in the comments. If you enjoyed the content, as always, please subscribe to the channel. Please leave a like on the video. Leave your comments down below. Tell us what you think. And we will see you guys in the next one, whenever that will be.
And also, on top of that, too, if you have any ideas for videos you want us to do, hit those in the comments as well. We see them, we read them, don't worry. So just hit us down in the comments and let us know, because we are open to ideas.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
it might be a bad idea. We may not necessarily listen to it, but we'll read it.
Yeah, we'll definitely read it. Well, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, thanks for watching.